Lisa,
Yes, Pommie.
what is the secret? That's the question I have to ask. What is the secret to winning World Cups? Or let's keep it simple. What's the secret to winning a World Cup?
Is this for your men's side, women's side? Women's side have been doing well.
No, I'm not talking for
okay.
anybody.
Oh,
I'm just,
right, just in general.
I would like to know.
Yeah. Secret. How do you unpack this into a couple of minutes?
Well, okay. Well, I can give you some help. You've got, what have you got? 50 over and 20 over for you, right? Mm-hmm. Personally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, speak about each one.
I think, firstly, the structure and how you select your side, the competitions that underpin your national team are really important. Competitive cricket, where you've literally got the best of the best in that country, and maybe even some imports just to strengthen it, and those domestic players learn. So competitive cricket in the build-up to that. A goal as a squad that you're working towards, or a brand or a style of cricket, that then feeds down to your other team. So it's not just working in a silo, that everyone's kind of working together to create cricketers that can actually achieve that. And there's got to be a belief that you can win from any situation. I look at times when I was in the Australian team, we felt as soon as we walked on the park, we had already won a certain percentage of the game because there was this aura around us. So the build-up in bilateral cricket and other tournaments that you play, if you have this winning mentality, people can see that, feel it, and you believe in it. So there may be a situation where you're totally out of the game, but suddenly the door just opens enough and you take it. And we've seen it probably a lot in the women's game, Australia versus India. India have pushed Australia and should win certain games, in crucial games, Commonwealth Games, ICC events. But for whatever reason, a run out happens, or a fall of wicket, or a big over happens, and the game changes on its head. And that simply comes down to the belief that Australian team knows how to win.
Name a few of the players you won with, and personalize it, as in, in that season or in that tournament, one you discussed this, so was it outrightly said, we're going to win this whole thing at the beginning, and when you get there, and, for both of those, and two, which were those players that were particularly important for you to ensure you win? And I suppose the third is, what's your part in that? As you sit there as member of this Australian, post-it World Cup winning side, World Cup winning sides, what is it that you had set out to do, and did you do it to ensure that you were contributing to the lifting of those titles?
Yeah. So I came into the side in 2001. We had just lost a World Cup against New Zealand in 2000. So they were clean out of a few players, and here's the next little brigade. Belinda Clark was our captain, and there was a very strong push from her, senior players and coaching staff, that our goal was to win the 2005 World Cup. And we had put, I can still remember on a PowerPoint slide, what each series is coming up, what the expectations were. And one thing I knew straight away as soon as I went into that aside was that if I didn't meet the standard, it wasn't the coaching staff that were coming down on me, it was my teammates. So we were holding each other accountable for all of our actions. And that went, and Belinda was also my state captain, so that kind of fed straight into state cricket and how we were applying ourselves in training there. So it wasn't just in the Australian colours, it was state colours as well. We won that in South Africa undefeated. So fast forward the next 50 over World Cup, I'm Karen Rolton's the captain now, and I'm part of the senior leadership group, and things kind of derailed pretty quickly. There was kind of a split between the players and the coaching staff. We had our worst campaign ever. But 9 months later, there was a T20 World Cup, and then 12 months later, there was a T20 World Cup again in the West Indies. So it was the same group, same coaching staff. So that was probably the most revealing, because we actually had to rip Band-Aids off and in front of each other kind of point out the behaviours we needed each other to stop doing, keep doing. And how do we realign ourselves, all of us, to get back on the same page to go and win a T20 World Cup. Alex Blackwell was the captain in 2010, because our current captain, Jodie Fields, or Purvis, I'm trying to think, was she married then? I can't remember. But she was injured. And we all kind of knew what our role was. And Elise Perry had come through by then. Elisa Healy was our keeper. Meg Lanning wasn't there for 2010. So that was kind of good. 2012, we go to Sri Lanka. We've got a new coach. So our previous coach got moved on. So again, Catherine Fitzpatrick, a former teammate of mine, became coach. So again, it was very clear on how we were going to play the game. 12 and 13. 13 was my last one, where we won the 50 over World Cup here. And that's where Rachel Haynes kind of came through. Meg Lanning was playing. Elisa Healy didn't play one game of that World Cup. And that next generation was coming through. But one thing that was clear in all of those campaigns was that we were working towards a style of play or a goal, a vision. And we had stepping stones along the way to kind of mark where we were.
All right. So isolating exactly what you could pinpoint that you couldn't do without in the World Cup winning sides, are you able to say, we had this, and if that hadn't been there, no chance?
It's hard to say, because I would assume all players have this, right? It's just a desire to win. Like, you literally put aside any conflicts. You don't need to be best friends with everyone in the team. That's not possible, right? But there was a level of respect as soon as we crossed the line, that all of us were going in the one direction. Not once did anyone kind of go the other direction and push against the tide. So yeah, I'd say that, but I would assume every team has that.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I like that though, because often with the question, no, what's the secret? That is the answer that comes out. That whoever it is says, everyone just wanted to win it, was just desperate to do it,
yeah.
And so I guess everything else that is required in order to do it.
That motivates you to do
it kind of disciplines you to do it. So it just lines up, I must do this because I have this unwavering and sort of flinching desire to win X, that's it.
I'll give you an example. So every team does a team bonding activities, right? Yeah. They do some weird water rafting or something, right? Yeah. So I remember we were climbing up some little mountain. You had to climb. You had all the ropes and everything. Someone's spotting you, right? And there was this bell up the top. And back then I was a little weakling, trying to get my body up there. And I was like, I don't think I can get there. So I said to my mate, I can't get there. She goes, okay, don't worry. We won't win the World Cup then. No, that's fine. You come down. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Okay, all right. I got to find a way.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, everyone held each other accountable. And it was just the little behaviours. Like you said, it forces you to be disciplined in how you were eating. If you got tired and wanted to whinge and complain, well, what's the point? Everyone else is doing it, right?
Yeah.
So that kept us on the right path.
Okay. And that's passed down clearly, because Australia keeps winning.
Yeah, they do.
And it doesn't matter. Men, women, same story. Thanks for that.